Merry meet everyone. I'm having a bit of trouble with my tripod today, so I'm doing this video now for the third time, and I've already taken some steps, so I'm gonna catch you up. I'm making an Ancestor Salt. This is a craft that I'm making for Samhain. I want to put an outdoor altar as well as an indoor altar to give offering to the ancestral spirits that kind of walk this realm. On Samhain, I wanted to create a sacred space, a protective space for them. So I do want to set out and create an actual altar both on the outside and on the inside of my home. So I wanted to make a black salt blend for the earth. Now, to make a black salt blend, and I apologize, my camera tipped over while I was making that once, so the black salt was already created. Basically, I took Himalayan pink salt and white sea salt chunks and blended those together, and then I added ashes and basically chopped up a couple of chopped up charcoal discs and mixed them in, and as you can see, it creates a black salt. And it still has bits of charcoal disc in there. If you make a black salt blend and you find it still has the charcoal bits in, it's not a huge deal. It all still works. The reason I wanted to make it a black salt and not just a regular salt is I find black salt has a very grounding energy. I feel that it connects me more to the spirit realm for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't really question why when it comes to things like that. I find that some things I question to the ends of the earth. You know, why is this like this? Why is this like that? But when it comes to, you know, this just feels like this to me. Sometimes I'll question it, but when it comes to, a lot of times it's ancestral stuff. Whenever it connects me to the spirit realm, I just kind of go, okay, it just connects me to the spirit realm. I'm not entirely sure why. So I've got that done. I added powdered yew, which I'll add just a pinch more just so you can see. Powdered yew. Yew tree is a guardian for the underworld. It is said to protect the souls of the dead, also lead them to the other realm. Yew is very poisonous. You see here, it says, do not take internally if pregnant or nursing. Consult a physician before taking. Ask an herbalist for known cautions. So that's the disclaimer that my powdered yew came with. For this reason, this blend will probably be an indoor blend so that I can make sure no animals will get at it. I'd hate to set an offering out and have this as just to represent the earth and to protect the spirits, but then have, you know, other creatures get at it and have them get sick or die or have any ill will. So this will probably stay indoors, just so I can keep an eye on it. Next, I'm going to add apples. Now, apples are very sacred to hell. They are the food of the dead. So I'm going to just add them chunked in. If it's a big chunk, just kind of break it up. A tip whenever crafting for the ancestors, if you have an ancestor altar, it'd be great to do the crafting around that. If you do not, but you have pictures of ancestors, by all means, have them around you. Right now I do have my matron goddess Hel's picture by me, as well as my spirit of Mabon, which I do see very much tied into the ancestors. I've got some some shreds. It's the last bit of my bag of apples. So then I'm going to add that in there. Okay. And then mullein leaf, or mullein leaf. I'm not sure on the pronunciation. I need to get on that. This is an herb that can be used in lieu of graveyard dirt, so I wanted to add it for that grounding. It also is very much connected to health. The yew tree is sacred to her, apples are sacred to her, and mullein leaf is as well. So these are the three that I really wanted to add, kind of to give honor to the lady. Whenever I do crafting, I do try to incorporate the Lord, the lady, the spirits of the elements, and the good folk, unless called to do otherwise. In this, I do have a representation of the Lord and the lady and the good folk, but because this is going on an altar as a representation of a specific element, I don't feel a need to incorporate the other elements into it, because this is to represent earth and only earth, so that's all that I really care about having represented here. Next we have bellflower. Bellflower I love so much. It's something that it radiates gratitude and just thankfulness, and that is definitely something I want to do with this blend. So just little white flowers. They're so pretty as well in a garden. And I believe I've read in a couple of websites that good folk are attracted to them, or fae. So that might be another reason to incorporate them into your garden if you are someone with a green thumb. And I'm just kind of tearing them up a little bit. I've got one for maiden. Let's see here. One for mother, and one for crone. And get those nice and in there. Okay. Now, where are those flowers? I actually, no, that's valerian root. There they are. Sorry about that. I found a bunch of flowers on Midsummer, which also happened to be Father's Day. I went to my Grandpa Ray's grave to decorate it, and there was a tree that I've never seen before, never noticed before, and it had these beautiful white flowers, and the white flowers were all over the graveyard. I mean, just all over, and it was right by his grave. I did some research and found the flowers to be catalpa. I might be pronouncing that wrong. And when I looked up the magical correspondence, it's about comfort and finding joy, and I thought that was so beautiful, and I really took that to be an offering by my goddess, and as well as my god, because Cernunnos is also an underworld god, and certainly one of nature, and since it was Father's Day and Midsummer, I've got to take it as some sort of a sign from him, I think. So I harvested them. Basically, I just went to, I asked permission and grabbed as many as I could off of the ground and hightailed it back to the card before people gave me too weird of looks. And I split up the flowers into a oil blend, which I called my Be at Peace oil, and then I saved these for an incense or herbal offering. So I thought this would be great to use them in, and I've still got a few left over if I want to make an incense, which I usually do. So I'm just going to finish this up for crone. We've already put in a maid and a mother. And I think it adds that comfort. I want those that find themselves on this plane to be comforted, to know that they are remembered, to know, you know, we're thankful for everything that they did for us and all their sacrifices that came. So I've got that in there. Then I made an oak and holly king oil, which I wanted to add. Maid, mother, crone. Maid, mother, crone. Maid, mother, crone. That oil I thought was very important because it does represent the god. The holly and the oak king are kind of the wheel of the year for the Lord, part of the Lord and Lady duo. So I definitely wanted him to be represented. And then I had oak leaves, but I unfortunately used them all in my Mabon incense because I'm brilliant like that. So I'm going to add valerian root instead. Valerian root is still very much correlated with Cernunnos, so I feel okay adding that. So maiden, mother, and crone. And valerian root is just, it's such a beautiful earthy herb. Very grounding, and it definitely brings me a peace and brings me a comfort. So I like, just my personal experiences with that herb made me feel like, you know what, I can't add the oak leaves like I wanted because I was a little too excited about my Mabon incense, but I feel good about the valerian root taking its place. And whenever you craft, you might find that. You might say, oh, this will be perfect for this, and then realize you don't have this. So if that happens, just kind of go with what your spirit tells you. You can do research online, you can do research in your books, but a lot of times I find it's just kind of a, you know, I feel good with using this instead. So never be afraid of that. And then I am going to add one holly leaf for the holly king as well. So that way we've got the oak and the holly king oil. We've got valerian root for the oak king. And then we've got a holly leaf for the holly king. And the oak and holly king also, you know, is a beautiful tradition. I believe it is Wiccan. I personally find it to be, some people see it as a twins, some people see it as two different deities just that are forever in battle. I actually see it as one god or one deity and dual aspects of that god. So I do correlate it with Cernunnos, since he is a god of both light and dark, so to speak. So I do like using those representations in crafting because I do correlate it so much with him. And holly, of course, an amazing protection ingredient. I absolutely adore it. Little difficult to work with sometimes. It pricks you and it hurts, but it really is great. So next I have my, this is my Be at Peace oil. It looks a little green, but oh, smells just wonderful. Those flowers that I got from the graveyard, and then I had some violets and some lilies. Just perfect, and it is just so calming and soothing. So maiden, Mother, Crone, Maiden, Mother, Crone, Maiden, Mother, Crone. Put that in there. Absolutely love that oil. It's one of my favorites that I've made. And then mix that together. And the nice thing also about using oils with a black salt blend like this is if the charcoal isn't really adhering to the salt, I find the oil kind of helps a little bit, and it makes it kind of pretty. I like it. So we've got that. Next, some good folk representation. So we've got the goddess represented, the god represented, and now the good folk. So I've got some lilacs. Lilacs, of course, are for beauty, love, wisdom. Also, I find that they aid with memories, good memories. So I do want to represent the beauty that comes with death, because with death comes new life. It is something that there is always something beautiful that comes from it. Even if we don't see the beauty right away, even if we're dealing with pain and hurt, there is the other side to it. If nothing else, there's that release. If it's someone who's been in pain, you know, now they're at peace, and that's a beautiful thing. In nature, quite frequently, even if a tree dies, there's still so much that grows from it and feeds off of it. So I do like that remembrance. And of course, memory. I want the spirits to know that they are remembered. We do have fond memories of them and wish them well in their afterlife. And I think the holly got me good on one of my fingers. So for lilacs, I have a bunch that I actually wildcrafted in the spring and have them hanging. So I just break off a bunch whenever I want to use some and just pop them in there. The purple adds really a pretty quality tone to this. Okay, next we're going to add some lavender. Lavender is a preferred offering for the good folk. It also is great for protection. It's good for healing, which is always good to have in ancestral or remembrance blends. It also brings a peace and relaxation. So we've got Maiden, Mother, ooh, that's a lot, and Crone. And when I kind of scatter these in there, I do press them in my hand so it bruises it a bit, so it releases some of those oils and that beautiful scent that lavender has. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Okay, and then hawthorn. Hawthorn, I've only really ever equated it with beltane when it comes to the good folk, because it is so closely associated. But in researching it further, it is great for protection. Placing it at an entrance will prevent evil spirits from entering. Well, that's exactly kind of what I want this for. I want this to be placed in an altar so that only benevolent spirits can enter and can enjoy themselves and, you know, gain a bit of rest and relaxation and energy. So I did my Maiden, Mother, Crone. Also, hawthorn is great for love, marriage, health, fertility, protection, and it is also seen to aid with death rituals. So I thought it would be perfect for this. And that's how we're going. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm showing you that a lot. And actually, these next few items I'm just kind of tossing in because I can't believe I didn't remember it. These are common herbs or flowers for death rituals as well, and I do want to include them. So we've got some elderflower, maiden, mother, crone, then we've got some yarrow, maiden. It's a lot of yarrow. I need to watch the next two. Mother and crone. Yarrow is also great for divination, love. I believe it's used in weddings as well. But I do know of it as a funerary element. And then rosemary, it actually just hit me as we were doing this that I did not grab my rosemary. And rosemary, of course, is for remembrance. Some people, and protection, people would actually add it to those that had passed away to protect them both in the ground but also in their passage to the underworld. So you've got maiden, mother, and crone. So add that for protection. Also remembrance. You know, again, I just want the spirits that are about to know that, hey, we remember you. Even if I'm not part of your family, I do honor you. I do remember you. And yeah. So that is what we have. I'm going to add let's see, what color do I want to put in there? I've got these turquoise skulls. They were a choker, but my neck got too big. I think I am going to go with pink for love. And down. So I'm going to put a little turquoise skull in there. Turquoise is, I've got it in my head as a healing stone. I believe it's, yeah, it is. It's very much a healing stone. I've only really ever worked with turquoise a couple of times, and both times was for healing the earth type of crafts. And then I'm using the skull has colored eyes, and so this one is pink for love. So I'm going to have that in there, and then I'm also going to charge it with a rose quartz, a smoky quartz, point, hematite, and of course I don't have any idea where my rose quartz went to because my daughter has been playing with things. So rose quartz might need to switch out for what I have, and right now what I have is a clear quartz. So that is going to be my ancestral salt. I'm going to cleanse it, bless it, and put it in a jar. And then I think I am going to put something up for Mavon, and then kind of tend to it and keep it over through Samhain. This is also a blend I will use. I'm making a couple of gree bags for healing due to someone's passing. I am going to include some of this in that as well. A lot of times when I'll craft things like this, I will make a larger batch than I necessarily need for that purpose, so that I can use it for other reasons. So yeah, that is how I make my ancestral salt. I hope that was interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video, please subscribe, feel free to comment. I try to reply to everything, although a couple times I have been known to accidentally delete comments. I don't mean to, I'm just not very good with technology. So please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a very blessed night. Bye, guys.